Hash tables are my personal favorite data structures because they give us super fast lookups and have a lot of applications. We use them in spell checkers. For example, using a hash table, we can quickly look up a word amongst tens of thousands of words in less than a second. They're also used in building dictionaries. Again, we can quickly look up a word and find its translation in another language. They're also used in compilers. For example, compilers use hash tables to quickly look up the address of functions and variables. They're also used in code editors. Literally anywhere you want to look up an item super fast. Most, if not all, programming languages have support for hash tables, but under different names. In Java, they're called hash maps. In JavaScript, they're called objects. In C# and Python, they're called dictionaries. They're exactly the same thing. Now let's see how they work and why they give us super fast lookups. At a very high level, we use hash tables to store key value pairs. Let's say we want to store a list of employees and be able to quickly look up an employee by their employee number. Since every employee has a unique employee number, we can use this number as a key and the employee object as the value. Now let's say we want to store an employee object in our hash table. Our hash table takes the employee number, passes it to what we call a hash function, and this hash function will tell where the employee object should be stored in memory. Our hash table will then store this employee object at that location. Now, we want to look up an employee by their employee number. Our hash table, once again, passes the employee number to this hash function, and it will figure out where this employee object is stored. So it will grab and return it for us. Now, the interesting thing about this hash function is that it is deterministic, which means every time we give it the same input, it will return the same value. This is why we can use it for both storing and retrieving objects. So that's the basic idea of hash tables. Internally, a hash table uses an array to store our objects. We'll look at that in more detail later in this section. And here are the operations supported by hash tables. We can insert, look up, and delete items, and all these operations run in O of 1 because the hash function tells us where in memory we should store an object or look it up. So we don't have to iterate over the entire array of objects. Having said that, in the worst case scenario, these operations may run in O of n, but practically speaking, this is something that rarely happens. So most people have come to this agreement that hash table operations run in O of 1. Next, I'm going to show you how to work with hash tables in Java.